Hi, my name's Nico. This will be a short intermediate vinyasa flow, full body. We'll start seated. If you have a block, I would grab one. If not, totally fine. I like to start seating on top of a block to keep the spine long. Close your eyes if that feels good. Bring awareness to the breath. Taking these first few moments to check in. By check in, I mean notice what you're holding, tension, stress, recurring thoughts. What can you let go of? Take 3 breaths altogether. So empty out all of your air. Big inhale through the nose, fill up your belly, ribs, heart space. Hold. Exhale, heart space, ribs, belly. Hold. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, belly, ribs, heart space. Find the top. Exhale, heart space, ribs, belly. Find the emptiness. Last one, inhale, belly, ribs, heart space. Fill up as much as you can. This time, open mouth, exhale, let it go. Maybe you turn your breath to ujjayi in and out through the nose, soft constriction in the back of the throat. And then we'll start to find a little bit of movement here. So flicker open your eyes whenever you're ready. Start to find movement in the body wherever it shows up first. Maybe that's the spine, or the head, or the shoulders. And then let's take a couple seated cat-cows. So bring your hands to your knees, and then as you inhale, press the ribs in the belly. Heart space forward, lift your chin. As you exhale, round the spine, pull the belly button backwards, tuck the chin towards the chest. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift up, open. Exhale, bring it in, round the spine, tuck your chin towards your chest. 1 more. Inhale, lift up, open. Exhale, round and tuck. Cue change. Inhale, come up to a neutral spine. Find the exhale here, empty out. Next inhale, reach your hands up overhead. Stretch tall, and then as you exhale, dive forward as you find your tabletop position. Wrists come underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And start to find some movement here, some side to side, or cat-cow. And then find a neutral spine. Bring your left knee to center, ground down into your hands and your left knee. And then as you inhale, we'll bring the right knee out wide towards our right hip or outside of our right hip. And then exhale, bring it back down through center, kind of like dog on a fire hydrant position. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, right knee lifts wide and up. Exhale, bring it in. Last time, inhale, bring it wide and up. Hold here this time. Then take a big right knee circle all the way back until it crosses back behind your left knee. So your legs are crossed here, right behind left. And then press your hips back towards your heels as you reach your hands forward. Gentle hip stretch. Next, inhale, bring your shoulders back on top of your wrists, come onto your knees. Ground down into your left knee again, uncross your right leg, kick your right leg over towards the right side. And then gently drop the inside edge of your right foot down onto the ground. Press down into your hands, tuck your left toes underneath your left foot. As you inhale, press your belly button down, lift up through the heart space, lift your chin. And then as you exhale, I call this awkward downward facing dog. We'll press the hips up and back as you straighten through the left leg. Keep the right leg out wide. Start to shift your weight into your left foot as you gently lift your right foot up off the ground. Finding scorpion pose, swing this right leg all the way up. Stack your right hip on top of your left, bend the right knee, really open up through the right side body. Nice and slow, we're going to bring the right knee forward towards the right elbow. Gently plant the right foot outside of the right hand, finding lizard lunge. Ground down into the hands, and then we're going to find some wrist movement here. So keep the left toes tucked and the left knee lifted. Start to move in and out of this right foot, pressing the left heel forward and back. And then keep your left hand where it is. Gently flip to the top of your right hand so your fingers reach towards your left toes. And then really gently rock forward and back, moving through the front of that right wrist. Flip to the palm of your right hand. Ground down into the hands and into the right foot. And then bring your left foot forward. Find Malasana frog squat at the front of your mat, toes out, heels in, sit the hips low. Hands come to heart center. Press your elbows into your knees to lift up through the heart space, lengthen through your spine. Maybe you find a little bit of rocking motion forward and back. Next inhale, lift up even higher through the heart space. And then as you exhale, take a ragdoll pose, spin your toes to face forward. Bring your feet to hip width distance apart, bend your knees deeply so that your spine can release on top of your legs. Bring your hands to opposite elbows and start to sway forward, back, left, and right. Release your hands underneath your shoulders. Next inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins or your thighs. Reach the crown of your head forward. Bring your weight into the balls of your feet. Next, inhale, upward salute. Reach tall with the hands up overhead. As you do so, come onto the balls of your feet. Lift your heels. Find the balance. Stay on the balls of your feet if you can. Know that shakes and wobbles are normal. And then as you exhale, keep the heels lifted. Bring your hands through heart center. I know it's a lot of balance. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead, upward salute with the heels lifted. And then as you exhale, drop the heels, sit into your chair pose, hips go back. Maybe you rock your weight into the heels, lifting your toes, giving the front of your feet a little release. Ground back down into the toes. Take a big inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, fold forward, release. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, runner's lunge, slide your left foot to the back of the mat as your hands frame your right foot. Gently drop your left knee down to the earth, and then as you inhale, hands lift up overhead, low crescent. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, pull up and out of your left hip and stretch over towards the right. Bring the hands up through center. As you exhale, half splits, pull the hips back, flex the right toes, drop the hands down underneath your shoulders. Come onto the tips of your fingers. So your hands are tented. Ground down into your fingertips and then slowly start to bend this right knee and kick your right foot back behind you. Once it's behind you, ground down into the palms of your hands. Keep the right leg lifted, ground down into your right hand, drop your right hip, and then reach your left hand forward. Take a big inhale to lengthen. And then as you exhale, left elbow to right knee, pull it in. Inhale, lengthen again. Option 1, stay right here. Option 2, bend the right knee, grab your right foot with your left hand. Kick your right foot into the left hand to lift up through the heart space. For 3, 2, 1. Keep the left hand lifted. Reach it forward as you gently drop your right knee down to the earth to meet the left. Reach your left hand forward, tuck your toes underneath your feet. And then we're going to press into the right hand, start to straighten the legs. Reach your left hand towards your right ankle as you find your downward facing dog position. If you can't grab your right ankle, reach for the right shin or the right thigh, and then pull your heart space up and under your right armpit. Gently reach your left hand forward again as you drop your knees back down to the earth. Reach your left hand all the way up overhead. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, thread the needle, swoop your left hand over towards the right, dropping your left shoulder and your left ear down to the mat. Maybe you reach your right hand forward. Maybe you pull your hips back towards your heels. Gently bring your shoulders back up on top of your right wrist. Take an inhale to lift your left hand up overhead. And then exhale, drop your left hand down underneath the left shoulder. Re-find your tabletop position. Feel free to take a couple cat-cows to shake that out. Find your neutral tabletop. Bring your right knee towards center this time. As you inhale, left knee swoops out wide. Fire hydrant. Exhale, bring it into center. 2 more. Inhale, lift this left knee out and wide. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, lift it up and wide, hold, and then swing it all the way around and back. Tuck it back behind your right knee so your legs are crossed, and then press your hips towards your heels as you reach your hands forward. Bring your shoulders back up on top of your wrists, come onto the knees. As you uncross your left knee from back behind your right, kick your left foot out from your left hip. Gently drop the inside edge of your left foot down onto the ground. Tuck your right toes underneath your right foot. As you inhale, press your belly down, lift up through the heart space. And then as you exhale, press your hips up and back, awkward downward facing dog. Rock your weight into your right foot. Slowly swing this left leg all the way up, around, and back, stacking the left hip on top of the right. Scorpion pose. Really lengthen through the left side body. Lizard lunge. Pull the shoulders forward, bring your left knee to your left shoulder, and then plant your left foot outside your left hand. Keeping your right knee lifted, start to rock in and out of your left foot, pressing your right heel back and forth. Keep your right hand where it is. Flip to the top of your left hand, so top of the left hand comes down to the ground. And then maybe you rock in and out of that wrist, really gentle. Flip the left palm back over, ground down into the hands. Bring your right foot forward, Malasana frog squats at the hips low. Elbows inside the knees, hands together, lengthen through the spine. This time maybe you reach your hands forward. Maybe they come all the way up overhead. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, ragdoll pose, spin the toes forward as you release the heart space down, bring the feet to hip width distance. Take an inhale, find your halfway lift foot, lengthen through the spine, hold. Rock your weight into the balls of your feet, lengthen through the spine even more. Next, inhale, upward salute, reach tall with the hands. Come onto the balls of the feet, lift the heels. Keep the heels lifted. Bring your hands back behind you if you can. We'll interlace the fingers. Keep the heels lifted. We'll find drinking bird. Start to bend into the knees. Let the heart space release down towards the knees. Maybe the hands come up overhead. Embrace the shake. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Drop the heels. Slowly start to straighten the legs as the hands come back. Keep the fingers interlaced. Maybe you find a gentle back bend, lift up through the heart space. And then as you exhale, take a forward fold, keeping the hands interlaced as they come up overhead. And then bend deeply into this left knee, keeping the right leg straight-ish. Drop your left shoulder down to the left knee, letting the right IT band release. And then switch it out. Bring your heart space through center. Bend deeply into the right knee. Let your right shoulder drop down towards the right knee. I like to sway forward and back. Bring it up through center. Bring your hands to your lower back and then down underneath the shoulders. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, find a runner's lunge. Frame your left foot with your hands. Bring your right foot to the back of the mat. Gently drop your right knee down to the earth. Bring your hands up overhead, low crescent. Grab your right wrist with your left hand, pull up and out of your right hip, and then stretch over towards the left. Bring your hands up through center, lengthen through the spine. Find your half splits, pull the hips back, flex the left toes. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Keep the fingertips tented. And then we'll kick this left foot through the arms all the way back behind us, ground down into the hands. Lengthen through the spine. Drop your left hip in line with your right. And then reach your right hand forward. Take an inhale to really reach as far as you can. And then as you exhale, left knee to right elbow, pull it in. Inhale, extend. Option 1, hold here. Option 2, bend the left knee, grab the left foot with the right hand. Kick left foot into right hand to lift up through the heart space. For 3, 2, 1. Gently release the left knee down as the right hand reaches forward in front of you. Tuck your toes underneath your feet to find the balance, and then slowly as you straighten the legs, finding downward facing dog, reach your right hand towards your left ankle underneath. Really pull your heart space up and under your left armpit. Breathe into your left IT band. Gently reach your right hand back forward in front of you as you drop your knees down onto the ground. Take an inhale to reach your right hand up overhead. And then exhale, thread the needle, swoop your right arm over towards the left, drop your right shoulder and your right ear down to the mat. Maybe you reach your left hand forward, maybe you press your hips back towards your heels. Slowly bring your shoulders back up on top of your left wrist. Take an inhale to reach your right hand up overhead. And then exhale, drop your right hand down to meet the left. Bring your hands about a handprint in front of where they are now. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Take an inhale, drop your belly, lift your chin. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog, press your heart space towards your leg. As you inhale, lift your heels up towards the sky. Keep your heart space and upper body how it is. And then as you exhale, bend your knees deeply, finding this crouching position. Hold. We're going to keep the knees low. And then as you inhale, pull the shoulders forward, find your high plank. And then as you exhale, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, high plank, bringing the shoulders forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips go up and back. A little different this time. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Find your forward fold, step, walk, hop, or float. Feet come to the front of the mat. Take an inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, we'll find a seat. Come all the way down. Reach your hands forward, plant the feet. And then we'll slowly roll all the way down to the back. Bring your feet about hip width distance apart, close to your glutes. Reach your hands towards your heels, and then press into your feet to lift your hips up towards the sky. Finding bridge pose, scoot your shoulders underneath the heart space. Maybe you interlace your hands at your lower back. Squeeze inner thighs in towards one another. We're here for 5 deep breaths. Release your hands if you have the fingers interlaced. Come onto the balls of your feet, lift the heels, and then slowly roll the spine back down to the earth. Bring your knees together as your feet go wide. Bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly to feel the breath. Bring your hands out from your shoulders, cactus or T. And then let your knees drop over towards the left, supine twist. Next inhale, gently bring your knees up through center, and then drop them to the right. Bring your knees up through center. Pull them into the chest. Give yourself a good squeeze in gratitude. And then release into Savasana pose. Let the legs and the arms go wide. Maybe scoot your shoulders underneath the heart space to lift it up towards the sky even more. Taking one last huge breath before letting the breath return to natural again. We'll start by exhaling all of the air out. Take a big inhale through your nose. Fill belly, ribs, heart. As much as you can, take it all in. Big open mouth exhale, let it go. And as you release into Shavasana pose, you let the breath be organic and natural, but we cover it completely with awareness. Noticing where we feel the breath most. Paying attention when our mind starts to wander. No judgment where the thoughts go, just simply releasing them and returning to the breath. If you have the gift of time, I highly encourage you to stay here a little longer. You're ready to start moving again. Allow the breath to deepen. movement in the body. Make your way into a full body stretch with hands overhead. Reach the feet forward. Take a big belly breath. Bring your knees into your heart space. And then gently rock onto whichever side is calling you for a fetal position. Taking a moment to feel the residue of the practice. Make your way up into a seat. Thank you so very much for practicing with me. Please feel free to leave any comments, questions, or suggestions for the next flow. And I hope to see you on here again soon. Namaste.